Imagine a stack of fluffy, golden pancakes oozing with melting butter and drizzled with sweet, sticky maple syrup. Each bite is a symphony of flavors, the rich, buttery taste of the pancakes harmonizing with the sweet, earthy notes of the syrup. The edges are just a touch crisp, providing a subtle contrast to the soft, pillowy center. These aren't just pancakes, they're a culinary masterpiece. Ready to make these delicious American pancakes for breakfast, brunch, or just because? Stick around and you'll know exactly how to do it. Before we dive into the cooking process, gather up all the ingredients you'll need. Let's start with the stars of our show: all-purpose flour and sugar, which will give our pancakes body and a touch of sweetness. Next up, a couple of eggs for structure and richness, and a healthy splash of milk to bring it all together. Don't forget the unsalted butter, for that lovely creamy texture. That wouldn't be a pancake without a good leavening agent. That's where baking powder comes into play, making our pancakes light and fluffy. And of course, a pinch of salt to balance out the sweetness and enhance all the flavors. For the final touch, pure vanilla extract adds a hint of warmth and depth to our pancakes, taking them from simple to simply irresistible. That's your ingredient lineup. Now that you have everything you need, it's time to start cooking. Scene script. Begin your pancake journey by mixing the dry ingredients. Now, let's dive into the art of blending dry ingredients. It's not just about throwing everything into a bowl, there's a subtle science to it. Start with the flour, our base, our canvas for the flavors we're about to introduce. Next comes the sugar, adding a hint of sweetness that will make our pancakes irresistible. Now, we've got the baking powder. This is our secret weapon for those light, fluffy pancakes that melt in the mouth. It's crucial to distribute the baking powder evenly throughout the flour. This ensures that our pancakes rise uniformly, giving us that perfect fluffy texture. You don't want to find a pocket of unrisen pancake on your plate. And last but not least, salt. It might seem odd to add salt to a sweet dish, but a pinch of salt acts like a flavor enhancer, bringing out the sweetness and balancing the overall taste. It's like the conductor of our pancake symphony, making sure all the ingredients play in harmony. Take your time to mix these ingredients together. Make sure everything is evenly distributed. We want every bite of pancake to be a perfect balance of flavors. Remember, good cooking is about patience and attention to detail. Once your dry ingredients are well mixed, move on to the wet ingredients. Next up, it's time to mix the wet ingredients. We've got milk, eggs, and a bit of melted butter. But before we dive in, let's take a moment to appreciate the harmony of these simple, everyday ingredients. They're the unsung heroes of our kitchen, often taken for granted, but oh so essential in creating culinary magic. Now let's start with the milk. Pour it into a bowl and watch as it swirls and settles, creating a pool of creamy goodness. This is the foundation of our wet mixture, the canvas upon which we'll add the rest of our ingredients. Next, crack open the eggs. Listen to that satisfying snap as the shell breaks, releasing a burst of vibrant yellow yolk into the milky white. Stir gently, watch as they blend together, creating a mixture that's smooth and uniform. Now the piece de resistance, the melted butter. Pour it in slowly, savoring the moment as it melds with the milk and eggs. This is where the magic happens, as the butter adds a richness that will make our pancakes irresistibly fluffy and moist. Remember, it's important that these ingredients are at room temperature. This ensures a smooth batter, preventing any lumps or inconsistencies that might disrupt the pancake's texture. And there you have it, a symphony of wet ingredients, ready to join the dry mix we've prepared earlier. With your wet ingredients ready, it's time to bring everything together. Now, it's time to combine the wet and dry ingredients to create your pancake batter. This is where the magic happens, folks. Let's get to it. First, create a well in the center of your dry ingredients. It's just like making a little crater in the middle. This well will act as a nest for our wet ingredients. Pour your wet mixture into this well. It's a bit like a culinary volcano, isn't it? But don't worry, the only eruption here will be the explosion of flavors in your pancakes. Now here's the crucial part. We're going to gently mix them together. And I mean gently. Pancake batter is a delicate creature. It's all about balance. Too little mixing and your batter won't be smooth. Too much, and you risk developing the gluten in the flour, which can result in tough pancakes. We're aiming for light, fluffy pancakes, remember? Use a spatula or a wooden spoon to fold the ingredients together. Think of it as more of a folding motion than a stirring one. You're not trying to beat the batter into submission, you're coaxing it, persuading it to blend together. As you mix, you'll start to see the batter come together. It should be thick, but still pourable. If it's too runny, you can add a bit more flour. If it's too thick, a splash of milk should do the trick. Don't worry if there are a few lumps left. Those little lumps are pockets of flour that will cook out on the griddle, providing small bursts of fluffy goodness in your pancakes. And there you have it. You've created your pancake batter. It's a simple process, but one that requires care and attention. It's a testament to the beauty of cooking, bringing together different ingredients, each with their own character, to create something delicious. With your batter prepared, you're one step closer to pancake perfection. Now, let's move on to the cooking stage, where we'll see this batter transform into golden, fluffy pancakes. Get your griddle ready, folks. Grab your skillet or griddle, it's time to cook some pancakes. Now that we've got our batter ready to go, let's get those pancakes on the griddle. First, preheat your skillet or griddle over medium-high heat. You want to get it nice and hot, but not smoking. A good way to test if it's ready is to flick a little water onto the surface. If it sizzles and evaporates quickly, you're good to go. Next, it's time to ladle the batter onto the hot surface. You'll want to use about a quarter cup of batter for each pancake. Pour it straight onto the center of the skillet or griddle. You should hear a nice sizzle as the batter hits the hot surface. That's the sound of deliciousness in the making. As the pancake cooks, you'll see bubbles start to form on the top. This is a good sign. It means the heat is evenly distributed and the pancake is cooking just right. Once the edges start to look set, and the bubbles on top begin to pop and stay open, it's time for the moment of truth, the flip. Now, flipping a pancake can be a bit of an art, but don't worry. With a little practice, you'll be flipping pancakes like a pro in no time. Slide your spatula under the pancake, give it a quick, confident flip, and let it cook on the other side. You'll know the pancake is done when it's golden brown on both sides and the middle is set. To test this, you can gently press the center of the pancake with your spatula. If it bounces back, it's ready. If it leaves an indentation, give it a bit more time. Repeat this process with the rest of your batter, and remember, the first pancake is often a test. Don't be discouraged if it doesn't turn out perfect. Each one will get better as you adjust to the heat and consistency of your batter. And just like that, you've cooked up some amazing American pancakes. Now comes the best part, serving and tasting your homemade pancakes. Just picture it. You've taken your hot, golden brown pancakes right off the griddle. Their inviting aroma wafting up to meet your senses. Now, it's time to dress them up for the ultimate taste experience. Begin by taking a generous pat of butter. Let it slide onto the top pancake, melting into a glossy pool that seeps into every nook and cranny. The rich, creamy butter not only adds a touch of indulgence but also enhances the overall flavor, making each bite all the more satisfying. Next, it's time for the crowning glory, the maple syrup. Drizzle this liquid gold liberally over your stack of pancakes. Watch as it trickles down the sides, creating a shiny, sticky glaze that promises a burst of sweetness in every bite. The earthy caramel notes of the maple syrup beautifully complement the fluffy, buttery pancakes, creating a symphony of flavors that's truly irresistible. Now, for the moment of truth. Cut into your stack with a fork, noting how easily it glides through the fluffy layers. Bring that bite to your mouth and savor the taste explosion, the soft, pillowy texture of the pancakes, the rich creaminess of the butter, and the sweet, complex notes of the maple syrup. And there you have it, folks. Fluffy, delicious American pancakes made right at home. Enjoy!